Okay, so today we'll concentrate on public networks. So for social engineering, so imagine you want to send maybe a phishing email or maybe a link to get confidential information from the user, but you are not connected in the same network. So that's what we're going to demonstrate. So the previous videos which are already available, we are concentrating on local networks. So for today's video, concentrate on public networks. So to start with, this is the PowerPoint presentation. So we are doing social engineering, which are public networks, specifically to solve the issues for Social Engineering Toolkit. Because in the previous videos, we talked about the tool, which is Zfisher, and Zfisher was also providing some of the public services such as CloudFlared and LocalXpose. So we are going to utilize those services for public networks now for social engineering in Social Engineering Toolkit. So first of all, we need to understand the introduction. So social engineering tools such as Social Engineering Toolkit are widely used for credential harvesting in penetration testing and cyber simulations. However, these tools typically operate over a local network by default. So that's the same thing I was trying to explain before even starting this presentation. So because they are just supported on local networks, we need to configure our local networks to also be available on the public network securely, such as a VPN. Okay. So if the victim's device is not on the same local network as the attacker's device, the phishing page cannot be accessed, which is one of the barriers. Okay. So as a result, devices connected through public networks or the internet will fail to load the harvesting URL, rendering the attack ineffective in real world. So think of it such things whereby you want maybe to conduct a penetration testing or earthquaking on someone if you have permission. Then you want maybe to demonstrate on how you can get their credentials, but you are failing to do that because you are not in the same network. So we are going to fix that particular limitation using these tools. So the first tool we are going to look at is LocalXpose, which can be configured or installed in both Linux and Windows. But for this demonstration, we are going to focus on Windows. Okay. So the introduction for LocalXpose is as follows. So LocalXpose is a tunneling tool that lets you to expose your local servers to the internet securely. Okay, so from this we can see that we are now um, handling the limitations for Social Engineering Toolkit. We want now to also access the public networks. So in social engineering, it's used to host fake websites or payloads directly from your machine without needing external hosting, which is cool. Okay, so this makes phishing attacks, credential harvesting, and payload delivery more realistic during penetration tests or simulations. So now we are going to demonstrate on how we can download this particular tool. So the first thing, you would like to visit this site. Okay, so I'll just say open link. So the link has been attached. That's the first thing you need to do. So once the link opens up, you see this is LocalXpose. Okay, so since this is a demonstration for Windows, we are going to click where it says download, and then under download we are going to download the Windows LocalXpose file. Okay, so let me just do that again. So download, then we can see here we have Linux, Mac OS, Windows, free BSD and Docker. So we are going to click on Windows. So assuming assuming that you've clicked on Windows and the download that has started, you're going to see a file which looks like this. So you're going to see a file which looks like this, which is localx windows then amd64.zip. Okay, so it will be a zipped file. So the first thing you'd like to do is to unzip. Okay, you're going to unzip this particular file by saying extract here if you're using Winrar, or you can simply say extract all by default if you're using just Windows. Okay, so this file will be extracted from this particular zipped file. So your job is to copy this file. So we'll say right click, then copy. So once we copy this file, or Control C, we're going to locate our local disk C, and then we're going to paste that file, the executable file, just below our local disk C. So you're going to understand why I'm doing this, but you can even leave it to the default folder. Okay, so since we've downloaded our LocalXpose, we would now like to create an account. So why are we creating an account? It's because we want to get the token, okay, the authentication token. So here what to do, just here, you will see where it says sign up. So you can sign up for free. So in my case, I've already signed up. So I'll just go where it says login, okay. So for you, you can just sign up. For me, I'll say login. So once you do that, now we need to verify the account through Gmail, okay. So once you've registered, you will receive a link through Gmail. So unfortunately, I cannot go to my Gmail because I've already deleted that. So you receive a verification link through Gmail. So you're just going to click on that, okay. So once you do that, you can now actually log in to your account because you verified the account. So after that, we need to access the token through the dashboard by scrolling down. So here I'll just say open link. Okay, so here is the link where we are going to access that particular token. Okay, so I will need to sign in. Okay, so let me just use this. Let me just do this because I already have my token. So because I don't want you to see my token, so let me just pause the video, then I'll log in success. Okay, so once you access your token by clicking on this link, so I won't do that because I don't want you to see my token. As I've said, you are going to copy that particular token, okay. So once we copy the token, we are going to open up CMD or PowerShell. Then we'll navigate to the folder where our file, the LocalXpose file, is located. So remember, ours is actually located in local disk C, okay, because we had copied this file to this local disk C. So once you navigate to that folder, in the under the command prompt, so this is what you're going to do. You are going to okay, let me just demonstrate. Let me just pause the video. Okay, so this is what to do. Open up command prompt. So just run it as an administrator, and then now say yes. Then here what to do, we are going to say cd dot dot to go a step backwards because we want to access this local disk C alone. Press enter, up, and then again I'll press enter. So we can see that we are now on our local disk C. So say CLS to clear the screen. Then here, if I say low, then tab, we can see that we have our file localx.exe. So what you're going to do here, we are going to say token, then auth for authentication, then space, and you're going to paste your token, and then you press enter. Okay, so let me just pause the video and do that because I don't want to see my token. Okay, so it will look something like this. This is the token you paste, then it will say started. Please open your browser and navigate to this. So here is my browser. You can actually see now we are inside LocalXpose. Okay, so now we are going to create a tunnel. Okay, so you can either create a tunnel with a command, or you can simply create the tunnel just from that, as you can see. So here what to do, we'll say add new tunnel. Okay, then I'll leave it to HTTP, then the server, I'll just say KMU because that's what I want to do, or you can leave it blank, or you can put any. Then remember our Apache server is on port 80 for our credential harvester. So we'll say local host and then full colon 80. So we want our local host to listen on port 80 because that's the port our social engineering toolkit is using. Okay, so once we do that, we just say create, because for us to change the domain we need to subscribe. Okay, so we can see now that actually this localhost is now having this particular link, and it's running. Okay, so this is good, we are good to go. So let's proceed. So here I was saying create a tunnel because our Apache server is listening on port 80. So our localhost will also listen on port 80 as I've demonstrated. So the generated link such as this will be attached to the phishing email. Okay, so before we even do that, let's just wait to see what will happen. So now we come to sending the phishing email. So for us to do that, we are going to okay, I'll search carry because I'm using WSL. So you can open up your Linux depending on the distribution you are using or the type you are using, if it's a VirtualBox OS, VMware, or WSL. So I'm going to run it as an administrator. So I'm just inputting my password. So by the way, it's a wrong password. Okay, then I'll just type cakes to bring up the graphical user interface for this WSL Linux. So I'll insert my cakes password, which is a long one again. Then once I do that, I'm actually inside inside my WSL Linux graphical user interface. Okay, let me just close all this. Okay, now here I'll open up my terminal. So I'll just click on this ethical hacking folder, then I'll say open terminal here. Okay, so I'm going to type SE toolkit, social engineering toolkit, and press enter. Okay, so here now what to do, I'm going to go with the first option, which is social engineering, because that's our topic. Then I'm going to create select website attack vectors because I want to attack a certain website. Then I'll go with credential harvester method, attack method, actually harvest for credentials such as passwords. So in today's demonstration, we'll go with site cloner so that we clone a website. So now here what to do, because for now we are just using LocalXpose to host this local server on the internet. I'll just insert this particular IP address for my machine, which has been highlighted there. So here I'll just go with the IP address for this machine. Okay, so once you do that, insert for your machine, then would like now to actually enter the URL to clone. Okay, so what I'll do here is that I'll open up my browser such as Firefox. Then I'll search for the website I want to clone. So here I'll just say Kapasa Makasa University. Okay, so I want to clone our school website. So I'm cloning the student portal so that we concentrate on the login page. So this is the student portal. So I'll just copy this link. Let me just remove that and that. Okay, then minimize. So here I'm going to paste the URL for our school so that we clone it. Now, remember, for this demonstration, I'm just showing now we can do it to public networks. So for us to configure the social engineering toolkit, I believe we watch the previous videos, okay? Because I don't want to make it long. So I'll press enter. Now, what we need to do here, we'll say return, because there's telling us to press return if you understand. So press enter. So the credential harvesting has started listening, but we need to make few changes before we proceed. I'm going to copy this directory or path. Okay, let me just copy, Control Shift C, then I'll open up another terminal. Then I'll say CD Control Shift V to paste into this directory I've pasted. So let me just concentrate on things. So these are the things I was harvesting. So don't concentrate on that, but our target is the index file. Okay, so I'll say nano, then index file .html. So here we'll say Control F to search, then we'll search for the word method. Okay, so why are we doing this? It's because method is equal to post, which is okay, but here it's saying name is equal to login. So what will happen is that if we send our phishing email or link, the user won't be able to actually log in because it's not linked to the PHP. So you will say action is equal to, now instead of login we'll say slash post.php. So by doing that we are going to save it by saying Control X, Y, then enter. Now you can see the post.php is what we are linking, because we are trying to make sure that once we start harvesting these credentials, someone can actually log in. So since we are all set, I'll just press F8, then minimize this. So here, remember this is still running and this is the link. Okay, so I'm going to copy it by doing that. Okay, so I want to send this in form of an email to our target. So here I'll just open up Chrome. Okay, then I'm going to go to the email, my Gmail account, then I'll say Gmail. And then once it opens up, we are going to compose an email. Okay, so to do that, let me just pause and then write something. Okay, so here we are going to add our recipient or receiver. So who is this guy? So that's just my other music email, KCDC. So yeah, here the subject is 2025 academic year results for KMU students. Remember, what we are trying to trick the user is for this particular result thing on the portal, student portal. So I'm saying, dear James Soko, assuming that you know your target or victim, congratulations on getting a clear pass. Wishing you all the best in your studies, hoping to see your excellent work again next year as you finish up your cybersecurity degree. So log in to the KMU student portal to check your results. Regards, the CICT Kapasa Makasa University team. So here you don't want to use your personal account, but you create something impersonating the school. So what to do, remember, here we have our link which we need to attach for our social engineering. So I'm going to highlight this KMU student portal, then I'll go on link, then I'll paste that particular link we want to use for phishing and say apply. So I'll send this email, I'll say send. Then if we go under sent emails, we'll actually see that we have that. Okay, so this user will receive this particular email. Okay, so here I'm on my phone right now. So remember, public networks can be sent to anyone from around the world. So what we actually do is we'll come back to our credential harvesting so that we notice one thing. So here we can see the harvester is listening. Okay, so for the sake of demonstrating, I'll just show you first on this PC for that account, then I'll actually do it on my phone so that we actually prove that it's a local network, so or a public network. So here I'll switch to this account where the phishing email was sent. So once I do that, I'll pretend as if I'm the victim for the sake of demonstrating. So here I'll click where it says 2025 academic year results. Okay, so I'll assume that I've read everything as the victim. So I'll just click on KMU student results. Okay, so as we can see here, it's telling us to visit. So I'll just visit that because the user won't care about such things. Okay, so here we can see it's saying not secure. Okay, so there you need to be aware, but as a user they don't really care about such things. You can even see from the URL that it's actually something else, but it's saying KMU student portal. Then here the user, what they'll do, they enter their student number. Okay, then they'll enter the password. Okay, then they actually submit. So here we are able to submit because of the PHP that we had changed. Okay, so the user again, they will be like, how come I've logged in but again it's telling me to log in? So they will think as if it's network issues. Okay, so once they do that, actually here you can see the link has changed now to a panel, and then kmu.ac.zm login, which is actually the actual site, because this is our redirecting link under the social engineering toolkit. So for you to understand that part, you need to watch the first videos I had created. Okay, so here the user again will log in to their account, and then they'll input their password. Okay, so once they input their password, they will log in again. So you can see actually the user has logged in to this particular portal, which is now the correct portal or the real portal. So they'll think nothing suspicious has happened. So for them to access the results, they'll actually click on results. Now again, I don't want to check my results because our phishing email was talking about results. Okay, so once that is done, in the background, what happened is that our harvester was able to actually intercept something. Okay, we've obtained our student number and the password, then an attacker would use this to now actually log into the actual system. So here on my phone, because I'm not able to record that, I'm clicking on the same link which has been received through the email of the victim. So just take note of what will happen there. Okay, just take note of what will happen there. So let me just pause. I find the okay, so I have the email now, so I'll click on the link. So mind you, my screen is just like that. I'm just clicking on the link so that we confirm something. So let me just confirm if the link is still up. Okay, So here the link had expired and it has changed to this new link. So sorry for that, I've taken time to do that. So I'm just copying this new link and actually sending it to the new link on WhatsApp. So I'm going to click, and then here what will happen is that the user is now visiting this link. Then they've landed on the school portal. Then once they're on the school portal, they'll enter their details. So here I'll just enter a random student number, a new one. And then the password, I'll just say demo999. Then I'll submit. So let's see if it will manage to capture. So you can see there it has captured that just from my mobile phone. So we can see that it's a public network because this phone is not in the same network with this particular network I'm using right now. So that's the first part for credential harvesting when it comes to LocalXpose. So you can customize the link and go further if you do your research. Okay, now we come to CloudFlared, which is another service to help us to get away from the limitation of Social Engineering Toolkit for local networks. So the introduction is as follows. So CloudFlared Tunnel, formerly known as Agro Tunnel, is a power service offered by CloudFlared that allows developers and cybersecurity professionals to expose their local servers or applications to the internet securely. By tunneling traffic through Cloud's global network, CloudFlared Tunnel assigns a public HTTP URL to a local web service, for example, HTTP //localhost 80. Okay, this URL can be accessed from anywhere in the world, allowing victims who are not on the same network as the attacker to interact with the phishing page. Okay, that's cool. So now let's see on how we can actually set up this CloudFlared. So number one, we need to download the CloudFlared. So they have added the link to do that. Okay, so let me just go back here. I'll cancel this. Control L to clear the screen. Okay. So just okay. So here, what to do? Would like to download that the CloudFlared service. So here I've inserted the command using wget, and this is the link to download. So we are going to copy this link and paste it on our terminal. So because I've downloaded it, there's no need to do that. So once you say wget and the link for the CloudFlared, it to start downloading, and once it's downloaded 100%, you are going to see this file which looks like this. So our job is to actually rename this file by saying mv for move or rename. Then this file, you're renaming it to this short name, which is CloudFlared. So we can see now that it has changed to CloudFlared. So once we do that, we are going now to give it executable permissions by using a long list. So we can see it doesn't have any executable permissions, but the read write and read only permissions. So after we say change mode or ch mode, then +x for executable to this file CloudFlared, we can see that actually now it has executable permissions and it has turned green or light green. So once that is done, this is optional. You can actually move this file to user/local/bin so that you can access it globally. For example, if you are running Social Engineering Toolkit, you can run it on any directory. So same applies to this method. Instead of us executing this by saying // then CloudFlared, if we move it to this folder, we can now access it globally. So now let's see on how we can execute this particular thing. So assuming that you followed those steps, okay, here what you're going to do. So if you can see file list, here we don't have the CloudFlared, but I can run it by saying CloudFlared, okay. Then here we say tunnel. Remember, for LocalXpose, we are creating a tunnel. Okay, so we say tunnel, then dash dash URL. So the URL, we are going to use just a localhost, which is http, and then slash slash local, then host. Okay, so that localhost now needs to run on port 80. Why? Because our credential harvester is listening on port 80. So this is the first step we're going to do. Then you're going to press enter. So now here to start creating or generating a random link in our case. Okay, so here we can see your quick tunnel has been created, and here is the link. Okay, so copy this link. So this is the link. I'll copy it by saying Ctrl+Shift+C. So this link now will be useful for our social engineering. So we won't close this window, but what to do is that to open up Social Engineering Toolkit. Let me just use another terminal. So here what to do, we'll say Social Engineering Toolkit. Then now again we'll say social engineering, then here we'll go with maybe web template. Okay, so I'll go with one. Then instead of pasting our IP address, we're going to paste that CloudFlared link. Okay, and press enter, because we want to make sure that we are able to access this particular link from anywhere in the world, public network. Okay, so here I'll go with Google template. Then once I press enter, here to ask me if I understand, I'll say return. Okay, so there we are ready to go. So it's now listening. So again, for the sake of demonstrating, what I'll do is that I'll just, maybe assuming I've created a nice email to send to the attacker, but here I'll just paste it like that. Okay, that CloudFlared link. So we can see, because we've went with Google, it's actually telling us to sign in with Google. So maybe I'll put my email address. Okay, then my password, then I'll say sign in. So here we can see we have a message which says the information you're about to submit is not secure, because this form is being submitted using a connection that's not secure. Your information will be visible to others. So as a user, they don't care, they'll just say send anyway. Okay, users don't really care. So let me just see. Okay, so here we had started our social engineering toolkit, then went with here we went with website attack vectors. Then after that, we made sure that we went with credential harvesting method. Then here what we did is that we chose site cloner. Then after doing that, we had to choose, it was Google, by the way, we had to choose Google. Then here we had to insert the IP address which has been given to us by the CloudFlared service. So here we can see this was the IP address given by the CloudFlared service using this command. So we had to get this where it says your tunnel has been created. So this was the URL I had pasted. Then after that, we would like to change our HTML file by saying Ctrl F again. Then we search for method. Then here we can see the action actually as the link now. So here we are going to get rid of this link which is attached, and then just like that get rid of the link. So remember why we are doing this. Then here we are going to say post dot php, Ctrl X, Y, enter, save. Then once we do that, we can go back to our social engineering and actually start waiting for the things which are being harvested. So let me just copy that URL so that we send it to the victim. So Ctrl Shift C. Now, so because I assume that I had already sent an email, I'll just paste it direct for the sake of demonstrating. Then once I press enter, you can see it's taking us to Google. Then someone would insert their credentials and the maybe password. Okay. Then once they say sign in, you can see they have been redirected to Google. Okay. So someone will be surprised like, again I'm back to Google. Okay. In this case, it seems like we've logged in, but that's not the case. So we just need to come up with a proper thing to harvest for these credentials. Now you can see here we've managed to intercept. So this had demonstrated it directly just there. So now let me demonstrate it on my phone. So okay, so here I've sent that link to my phone. So I've clicked on that link, then now it's opening up. I'm just entering the details. So here I'm using KCDs as the email, then the password I'll just say password 5567 and sign in. So let's see, here it has managed to intercept, as we can see. So this is a public network because we demonstrated on a different network also. So let's just continue with our slide. So this is just a notification to say if you didn't want to change this CloudFlared to that user slash local slash bin, you can leave it and execute it with a dot slash, as I've said. Then now for Social Engineering Toolkit, we saw that here we were inserting the link instead of our IP address. Then in this case, I was just demonstrating for our school portal, for which I had shown you, and we changed the method and action to post.php. Then here I demonstrated that we will send the link to WhatsApp, so you were not able to see my phone because I'm just recording my PC. Then after we do that, actually see some credentials which have been harvested and something like this as I've demonstrated. So this is the end. These earthquaking classes by Soko James. So this has been created in 2025 for Kapasa Makasa University KMU Cybersecurity Tutorials. So thanks for watching. This is Soko James representing KMU Cybersecurity Tutorials. See you in the next video.